Hello, thank you for joining me today. Well, this is the Friday, May the 7th edition of our video devotionals, and we're so glad you're with us. End of another work week and school week, and hopefully you can have a great Friday and Saturday. And don't forget, this is Mother's Day this Sunday. So if you're able to be with your mother, please be with her, and maybe you can go to church together. I realize because of circumstances, sometimes people can't do that, but hopefully you can if possible, but certainly the phone call and maybe a card or flowers, and take them out to eat, of course. So Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to all of our mothers. Well, many of you that have been with me since the beginning will know that this scuppernong vine that I'm right here at was a backdrop for several of my devotions. We started out where it was nothing but brown vines. It looked like it was something dead, to be honest with you. No leaves, just the vines, all brown. Then, of course, it started to grow, put out a few little leaves. Then, of course, it got to like it is now, pretty much full foliage. So something I wanted to show you if I can here. Let me pull this vine here. The reason why I got kind of close in here. If you look right there, now you can't see it very well maybe, but I'm going to turn just a little bit. If you look right there, there's the beginnings of the scuppernongs, these little grapes here. Last year, this thing didn't produce anything, and I'm so glad as I'm looking at it that this looks like it's going to be a bumper crop, as we say. And so just this one little vine here alone, and looking at it, that cluster there looks like there's probably going to be 64 or so grapes. I realize they don't always, things get them and they don't always mature, but if this thing does 10% of what I'm looking at, man, it's going to be awesome. So I wanted to show you that. So many of you remember this vine here. And now it's, let me put it over here. That way it'll be kind of out of the way. I don't think that'll damage it at all. Okay. So we started this week, of course, with our theme talking about treasure or treasures. And today we're going to end it. We're going to be in Hebrews chapter 11 today. Verse 26 is our key verse. We're going to read from verse 23 down through verse 26, maybe verse 27, and give you what we have for you today. So thank you so much for watching these videos, and glad everybody's continuing and going forward, okay? Or notice what it says here. By faith, Moses, when he was born, was hid 3 months of his parents because they saw that he was a proper child, and they were not afraid of the king's commandment. By faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of God than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. And notice verse 26. Esteeming the reproach of Christ greater riches than the treasures in Egypt, for he had respect unto the recompense of the reward. By faith he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king, for he endured as seeing him who is invisible. So going back to that point there, well, actually, just one little point I want to make here too. When it started out, that verse said, by faith, Moses was hid 3 months. Naturally, that wasn't, Moses exercising faith. He's a little tiny baby, and he knows nothing about faith. He probably doesn't even know he's in the world at this point. But the point is the faith of his parents. And no doubt the faith of his parents had the effect upon of course, Moses himself as he got older. No doubt about that. And then, of course, as he did get older, we see where he starts to choose God rather than to choose Egypt and all that it had. And then, of course, zeroing in here on what it says here, esteeming the reproach of Christ greater riches. He saw something greater than all the treasures of Egypt. And imagine what was at his disposal there, being Pharaoh's daughter. I mean, wow. I mean, he literally had the world. And he says, no, there's something greater than the treasures of Egypt, and that's the riches that come with God. And I love that. So the practical side, of course, is the same thing for us. We can pursue a lot of things in this world. Now, bear in mind, look, God's going to provide our needs anyway. There's so many things we don't need. You know how it is. We go after things and accumulate things. We all do it. And some of these, of course, are needs, but some of them are not, of course. Living in America, I mean, people complain about things, the way things are going, but man, just to think, even in our position right now with this pandemic and its effect, wow, Americans, how rich we are. It's all that to say, but there's greater riches in all the things we can see around us, and that's the riches that come with following Christ. Let's do that. Let's see, as it said there, he endured as seeing him who was invisible, to see God with the eyes of faith, and that's so important. And you'll see the riches that come with Christ, and it'll make the world's riches be something you can say easily to no to. Now, there's times we have temptations. We look around, we see things all around us. You see somebody driving a brand new vehicle. If you can have a brand new vehicle, then have a brand new vehicle. Sometimes you need one because the one you've got is literally falling apart. Typically, we drive ours till almost the wheels fall off of them. And sometimes you got to get another car, just with anything. So the point I'm making is, though, but as a born again child of God, the treasures, the riches that come with serving the Lord, and the things that cannot compare to the world's riches. I mean, as I mentioned before, just the fruit of the Spirit alone: love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Those 9 elements right there are no comparison to anything you can get in this world. So I'm so glad that we can serve the Lord and that we see that. So I hope you have a great day. Finish the week out strong. Mothers, have a great Mother's Day. We're going to see you on Monday, and we'll begin a new theme. Until then, hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next week.